Hey, what's up guys? BoHD here from PhoneDog.com. Hope you guys are doing well. Now, LG has been releasing flagship smartphones consistently over the years to rival Samsung and Apple. And in the early days, I was a big fan of LG's devices, and I actually used them, at least the LG G3, more than any phone of that year. But, over the years, as competition grew more fierce, LG's grip on the smartphone market slipped, and LG's flagship phones haven't been able to grasp the attention of quite as many consumers. 2020, this year, may be the first year we don't see a successor to the LG G8 that launched last year at MWC Mobile World Congress. According to the latest leaks and rumors, the LG G9 is going to be replaced by the LG V60 ThinQ, which is expected to be launched literally any day now. It was supposed to be launched at MWC Mobile World Congress, but because the event was canceled due to the coronavirus, LG just wasn't able to launch this phone. What's interesting is that one of the renders of the phone that has leaked has the date of February 24th on it, which was supposed to be the launch date of the phone and also the first day of MWC. So since we actually know a lot about this new device, we're gonna go ahead and just essentially launch the phone ourselves and tell you all about it. It's very likely that by the time this video is up, LG will have formally launched the phone. And if that's the case, I'll go ahead and update the description with the official specs and features. Okay, so go figure, LG did in fact formally announce the LG V60 ThinQ. Going forward in this video, you may hear me refer to the phone having this feature or that feature without it kind of like being for sure, but just know that obviously I wouldn't leave that in if it were not true. So I've re-edited this with all the actual features and specs and whatnot. So just want to get that out there. With that said, let's get back to the video. So as we can see in that leaked render, the V60 will contain a fairly familiar design as its predecessors, such as a metallic frame and a glass front and back that will support wireless charging and, will be kind of slippery, kind of prone to damage, but it's basically more or less the design of most flagship smartphones these days. The back shows a quad camera array with 4 microphones to improve audio clarity when recording video, so that's pretty cool. We can also see a 3.5mm headphone jack, and there appears to be a dedicated Google Assistant button on the left side of the phone underneath the volume rocker. The front will feature a nearly edge-to-edge 6.8-inch POLED display with a 1080 by 2460 resolution. The notch is more minimal than before, and LG is launching it with a revamped dual-screen accessory that we saw launched with the LG G8X ThinQ. The new dual screen accessory is pretty cool because it now boasts a 6.8-inch FHD Plus OLED display with a 360-degree hinge, which can be used in laptop, stand, and tent modes. There's also a new 2.1-inch notification panel with an always-on functionality. Also, you might remember LG launched the G8 with some palm hand identification technology that would unlock the phone by scanning the veins in your palm. Well, if LG keeps this feature, then we could see a bigger notch to support some more of those sensors necessary to make this feature work. But hopefully they'll just ditch this feature altogether, give us a smaller notch, and maybe an in-display fingerprint scanner. Powering the phone will be a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 processor with about 8GB of RAM and 128GB of internal storage that will be expandable via micro SD card. So this should be powered by Qualcomm's most premium mobile chipset, which will support 5G, which is pretty cool. And we're looking at a 5,000 milliamp hour battery underneath the hood to help keep this phone running a full day with moderate to heavy usage. This is actually probably going to be my favorite feature. Just having that super large battery will be super nice, not having to worry about charging it at all. It's great. As for those quad cameras, the V60 features a 64 megapixel f1.8 main sensor with a 13 megapixel ultra wide sensor, and there is a time of flight depth sensor. One of the best features of the main camera is its ability to capture 8K video. It's also able to capture HDR10 plus video in manual mode. But LG phones have been able to capture some very good results on par with Samsung and Apple. So I'm just hoping LG has just been able to improve and continue to refine the camera abilities over last year's LG V50. And speaking of last year's LG V50, that phone launched at a fairly steep price of about $1,000. So it's likely the LG V60 will launch at a similar price. It would be nice if LG would price it more competitively and give Samsung a run for their money a little bit. Obviously, as we discussed earlier, LG just hasn't been able to find as much success lately as they once had. So it would be nice if this phone would launch at about $800. I think that price could actually convince some users to invest in an LG phone over a Samsung phone or an Apple device. Obviously, you have Android and iOS, which, you know, would be harder to get people to jump ship. But any higher of a price, and I think it's gonna be a tough sell because as a consumer, I want to invest in a brand that I know is going to continue to update their devices for the years to come, which I know Samsung and Apple will do. Now, LG doesn't have a terrible track record for updating their older devices, but with them potentially no longer continuing their flagship LG G lineup, LG could stop producing flagship phones altogether in the next couple of years if the LG V line doesn't sell very well. I know it sounds drastic, but honestly, that could be a possibility. I mean, why would a company continue to invest in innovating their smartphones, which costs, you know, millions of dollars, when they're not selling? And that's just the vibe I get from LG right now. They just don't seem too terribly concerned with their smartphone division. They recently launched some budget smartphones. They might just, you know, drop the flagship phones altogether and focus on cheaper, more competitively priced devices. So with that said, that's everything we can expect to see with the LG V60 ThinQ. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this device in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe if you're brand new. I'm BoHD from PhoneDog.com. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you right back here in the next one. See ya.